Mother Teresa was one of the most influential humanitarian figures of the 20th century. Her life became a global symbol of compassion, humility, and service to the poorest and most forgotten people in society. She was born as Angeze Gonche Bojachu on August 26, 1910, in Skopje, then part of the Ottoman Empire. Raised in a deeply Catholic Albanian family, she grew up in a home where faith and generosity were daily practices. Her mother often welcomed the poor into their house, teaching her children that helping others was a moral duty. When Angeze was 8 years old, her father died suddenly. This loss shaped her childhood and strengthened her spiritual outlook. At the age of 12, she felt a strong calling to dedicate her life to God. By 18, she left her family forever to join the Sisters of Loreto. In 1929, she arrived in India, a country that would define her life's mission. She took the name Teresa, inspired by Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, whose teachings emphasized love through simple acts. For nearly 20 years, she worked as a teacher at St. Mary's High School for Girls in Calcutta, eventually becoming the principal. Despite living a stable life within the convent, Teresa was deeply troubled by the extreme poverty surrounding her. In 1946, during a train journey to Darjeeling, she experienced what she described as a call within a call. She believed God was asking her to leave the convent and serve the poorest of the poor directly. With Vatican approval, she left the Loreto order in 1948. Wearing a simple white sari with blue stripes, she began working alone in the streets of Calcutta. She cared for the sick, fed the hungry, and comforted the dying, often with no medical training, only compassion. In 1950, she founded the Missionaries of Charity, a religious order dedicated to serving those who were unwanted and unloved. The mission focused on direct care rather than long-term solutions, feeding the hungry, sheltering the homeless, and restoring dignity to those abandoned by society. One of her most notable projects was Nirmal Hriday, a home for the dying. People left on the streets were brought there to receive food, basic medical care, and the chance to die with dignity and human presence. Mother Teresa believed poverty was not only material, but emotional and spiritual. She often said that loneliness was one of the greatest forms of suffering in the modern world. Her work emphasized presence, touch, and compassion rather than efficiency or numbers. Over time, the Missionaries of Charity expanded worldwide. By the 1990s, the organization operated in more than 130 countries, running orphanages, hospices, soup kitchens, and shelters for people suffering from leprosy, HIV/AIDS, and severe disabilities. In 1979, Mother Teresa received the Nobel Peace Prize. She declined the traditional celebration and asked that the funds be used to help the poor. In her speech, she spoke about love, family, and responsibility, not politics or power. Despite widespread admiration, she faced criticism. Some questioned her medical practices and her acceptance of donations from controversial figures. Others criticized her firm opposition to abortion and contraception, views rooted in her Catholic faith. After her death, private letters revealed that Mother Teresa experienced long periods of spiritual darkness and doubt. For decades, she felt distant from God, yet continued her work with discipline and commitment. These revelations showed a deeply human side behind her public image. Her health declined in later years due to heart disease and infections. In 1997, she stepped down as head of the Missionaries of Charity. She died on September 5, 1997, in Calcutta, at the age of 87. India honored her with a state funeral. In 2016, the Catholic Church canonized her as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Her legacy continues through thousands of sisters and volunteers serving the poor around the world. Mother Teresa's message was simple but powerful. Change begins with love for one person at a time. She believed that small acts, done with great love, could transform the world.